Do you need to scratch that criminal RPG itch, but don't think that Dungeons & Dragons is the best fit? Luckily, we know of another excellent tabletop RPG you should try.
I'm all ears.
If you've sworn off 5th edition but are still looking to run a heist-focused campaign, you may want to give Blades in the Dark a shot. Blades in the Dark is a game in which players are scoundrels, running a crime circuit in an urban fantasy setting. Players will have to contend with everything from rival gangs to law enforcement, to powerful families who rule the city in secret, to supernatural threats. Unlike Dungeons & Dragons and other broad fantasy games that often feature heists but aren't actually focused on heists or have mechanics specific to them, Blades in the Dark is built around planning and implementing heists and taking big risks. Unlike Dungeons & Dragons, players will simply need a pool of d6s to play Blades in the Dark. When making a check, players create a pool of dice by choosing one of their character traits and then adding bonus dice by either getting assistance from another player or by pushing themselves. As long as a player rolls at least 1 6 on their dice, they succeed on their roll. On a 4 or a 5, it's a partial success, and a 1 through a 3 is a bad outcome. The nature of the game and these rolls mean that players will succeed on checks most of the time, but the bad outcomes can add a lot more danger or consequences to the checks when they fail. While planning is at the core of every good heist, Blades in the Dark separates the crack planning skills of the characters from the, well, lesser criminal minds of the players themselves. Instead of trying to plan out every detail of a heist, players simply need to pick out one of 6 general plans, ranging from assault to stealth to social. Players choose a few details to help guide that plan, and then ultimately make an engagement roll to see how far into a plan the players progress before encountering their first obstacle. Players can also call for a flashback to help fill in the blanks of a mission. This allows the players to manipulate a complication by showing how their character actually planned for things in advance without, well, actually planning for things in advance. Now, another core mechanic of Blades in the Dark is the progress clock. When a heist starts, a GM creates a clock, which is basically a circle split into 4 to 8 segments depending on how complicated the heist or the obstacle is. And these clocks are designed to either show the progress the players are making towards their objective, or to indicate the general threat level, or to show how long a player has until an alarm is raised or until their heist fails entirely. Failed checks might advance the progress clock, indicating the alert level of patrolling guards, while successful checks might advance the progress clock to show that the players are moving through a mansion successfully to steal a treasure. Another key stat in Blades in the Dark is stress. This is something that players take when conducting their heist. A player can voluntarily take stress to add bonus dice to their dice pool or trigger a flashback. Or they can suffer stress when they are trying to avoid a harmful consequence of some kind. Now, the key thing is that players suffer permanent trauma if they take out too much stress during a heist, and they can also suffer harm, which are physical effects that reduce the results of rolls, or remove dice, or incapacitate players entirely. If players suffer too much permanent trauma, their character gets retired and they have to replace them with a new character. When players complete a successful heist, they not only potentially earn XP to advance their character, their crew also earns XP, which can lead to more benefits, a bigger reputation, and access to bigger heists. So, characters will not only become more proficient criminals over the course of a Blades in the Dark campaign, they'll also grow their crew from a small-time gang to the shadowy power that rules the city in secret. You know, if they survive that long. So anyways, if you are looking for a criminally good time and want to focus on heists and only heists and planning heists and doing all those other heist-related things, why not give Blades in the Dark a try? The core rulebook only costs $30 and contains everything you need to create a heist-focused campaign. So, are you going to give Blades in the Dark a shot, or have you already played a Blades in the Dark campaign? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.